keep them guessing. And Sylas can use Twisted Fate Ultimate deep into enemy compositions, into the backline where he wants to be able to get his combo off on people like the Ashe. Of course, for Team Liquid side, you need good positioning with your Thresh, with your Ashe. CoreJJ picks this champion for a reason. You separate so that you can have the out of a dark passage to try and protect you from a Olaf, Sylas, Volibear dive.
Well, the draft has finished up here, and with only a couple seconds left with the team still being able to trade, do want to let that tick down. Okay, that means we're getting Sett versus Volibear in the top lane, the Olaf versus the Trundle in the jungle. Oh, this game number 3 should be really exciting, man. I like this draft.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing some LPL influences. They still pick top lane Volibear all the time into a lot of these matchups, try and have the power of that 1v1 and as a point to try and play off of. And when you have an Olaf jungle, you go to any power point that you have on the map, any winning matchup, and you just make it more winning.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right? As long as that matchup is already winning, you get to walk into your own jungle matchup nearby, and you're Olaf, so you win yours too. Just having to play around those facilitators so that you can make sure you're being the early game powerhouse you gotta be. TSM are flying down this bottom lane as a 5-man unit, Kobe. We might get to see some of that spicy cheese here early on.
Yeah, so we call it prep.
We call it prep
these days. We don't really call prepping the cheese.
Yeah, hey, for a good lunch, you got to prepare the cheese. Come on, man.
It's our new flavor of cheese, actually, just developed here at home. Stratagem.
Okay, yeah, stratagem cheese. It's
Well-fermented
like
stratagem.
Yeah, it's like a mozzarella and a cheddar jack. I don't know anything about cheese. I can't even finish this joke. Okay, let's just go ahead and drop that off and go ahead and look back at what's actually happening on the Rift here, as nobody's going to do anything else tricky here at the beginning of the game after that early attempt from TSM. Did not find any success, so no summoner spells spent there. Nobody's really doing anything wacky after that. You can see the fleet footwork on Bjergsen in the mid lane, knowing he's in the melee versus range matchup. That fleet footwork will do a lot of work in keeping him healthy and allowing him to survive in that lane. Of course, he won't have as much damage as the game goes forward with the Conqueror, like many Sylases like to use. Everything other than that seems pretty normal here.
Yeah, definitely concur. Bottom side, they're going for the quick push here. You see DoubleLift, he just procced that lethal tempo, was able to get pass-through damage on Q, plus the extra attack speed there. So they're trying to quickly shove in that lane, but it looked like Tactical and CoreJJ did a good job fighting back in that push for level 2. Meanwhile, Spica, you want to get as low as possible, off of blue buff, off of Gromp, so you can power clear through the bottom side. And I do believe they snuck a ward back in there onto the Wolf camp. Saw a little speck of red to give them a timing on the Olaf power clear, which it's not really surprising when he goes for it, and because Olaf can easily clear all camps before Scuttle Crab arrival. But Broken Blade actually, yeah.
Nice trade there from Impact. Barely got the stun with the face breaker, having that minion nearby on the other side to make sure he got some extra trading power on the back end. But yeah, when you're looking at the difference in jungle clears here, Spica went ahead, went for the entire top side clear, moving into bottom side for the reasons you stated. Broxah, however, started at red, then immediately goes to his own blue buff to buff, then starts clearing back up towards that top end with Gromp into Wolves. Not quite as efficient of a path, but it does still end up with him being level 3 around this bottom side river with the Scuttle Crab still yet to spawn. Full HP, full mana. Brox is very much in good shape to try to make something happen here. Let's see if he wants to go for a gank onto Bjergsen. Remember, Bjergsen does still have that dash there to get himself away. Still has to expend the flash to get out.
This is, again, another early level 3 gank from Broxah towards mid lane. This has become one of the core tenets of the Team Liquid jungling style. Another early pass, burn an early flash onto Bjergsen. They haven't converted those to, like lane kills for Jensen so far. Here we go, though, combo.
A little bit of damage, but considering Team Liquid is already stuck underneath the turret, I don't think they'll be able to find too much else with it. Exactly. Yes, they have Spica nearby. Do they want to go for this dive, though? That is still a Thresh, and a small amount of misexecution or a big outplay from CoreJJ could turn this into a disaster for TSM.
Combo.
All right, looks like we're going for it. Let's see if that execution shows up. Flash from Tactical, trying to keep himself alive. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. If they outplay it or you misplay it, you're going to be in some trouble. First blood goes over to TSM, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. Money on to DoubleLift and money onto CoreJJ.
And they got their target, so denying the kill here, Tactical cannot get any of the extra CC or extra CS, and it was CoreJJ that was the only one left alive in range, barely getting that last hit onto Biofrost. So even though they give up the kill, here we go, top side though.
Impact with the flash for the face breaker to start things off. Broxah wants to save the pillar for after Broken Blade flashes. However, Broken Blade gets enough distance to make sure he's still going to be protected by the turret despite the pillar's presence. So flash for flash being spent by these top laners, and it's Broken Blade who's so low that he has to go back to the base and return with a TP.
Yeah, and Broken Blade actually played it pretty well. He should be able to just teleport right back out and get there in time for the cannon minion wave. Maybe he misses one melee minion, but that's about it. I thought he actually played that super well. Remembering down to the bottom side, though, I'm pretty sure this is still big TSM advantage. Ashe gets denied extra CS. DoubleLift gets to hold his CS lead, plus gets to be the one actually acquiring the kill, even though it was pretty well played by Team Liquid to try and focus fire down Biofrost and get a counter kill for themselves. The gold went onto the less than ideal spot in CoreJJ.
Well, if there's any support that I think of in all of our 10 LCS teams, I'd be like, okay, you know what? It went to the support, but that's all right. I think CoreJJ would be the guy to get my vote with the amount of crazy plays that we've seen out of this dude so far here in Summer 2020 and throughout his career. Right now, we are in a pause. I'll give you guys updates on that as we move forward, or the pause will be short, sweet, and to the point, and we can get right back into the game like we are now. Back onto Summoner's Rift, summarizing the state of the game. It's a 1-to-1 match with the gold dead even. However, it is a bit misplaced, as Kobe was mentioning there during our brief moment of respite. Jungle comparison, it's a 32 farm state for Spica. Looking across the board, 25 for Broxah.
Flowers, one of these swords is bigger than the other one. Tactical here with a little tiny short sword and some brown bag boots on his feet, compared to DoubleLift, who, getting the kill and getting the extra CS, has a BF sword, which, you know what that stands for.
Big friendly sword. He's going to be making all kinds of friends when he walks into the yard, and he's got the biggest sword out of everybody. This dude
smiley
is here
face
to
on that sword.
lane. He knows what's going on. 51 CS Caitlyn, 20 farm advantage, BF sword compared to no BF sword. This is the bottom lane dream for DoubleLift and Biofrost right now, with a Caitlyn Lux too. Just the power of these two champions together in maintaining that lane control and priority. Now, can they get a situation that allows them to take another early first Drake down here? They do have Spica hanging around. Top side here, you can see we're just watching the top laners trade back and forth, but it doesn't look like anybody's dropping anytime soon. Both of them will have ultimates if they need to use them. No junglers nearby them.
And it's also not just about the size of the swords, but the number. Because Ashe going for a Blade of the Ruin King, obviously you're getting small swords there, but you're supposed to have multiple of them to be able to try and fight back. Yeah, Broxah though, he's trying again. We talk about him burning flash off Bjergsen, but they haven't necessarily been able to get the kills and capitalize on it. It's mostly been like a reduction in lane pressure from Bjergsen and causing him to have to play more safely. You can see CS lead here for Jensen.
Oh, Jensen going after him, has to flash for the gold card. Bjergsen does not have any way out. He tries to use the TF ulti defensively, but it will not work. Team Liquid ends up getting themselves the kill onto Bjergsen, but TSM recognize the jungler is in the mid lane, and they take the chance at the Drake, and they pick it up.
And look at this rotation. They're sending DoubleLift up there to catch the mid-wave farm while they have Biofrost and Spica down here. They don't want to let any of this money go to waste with these minion waves being pretty free for themselves. That's one of those quick, just little short rotations where you send them up there, closest person rotates over, next person rotates down, so at least you're still getting income from the minion waves, which have become even more important. Then, once Bjergsen gets back, DoubleLift can head right back down.
Yep, especially with the situation where Team Liquid have that kill advantage. They have some farm leads. When you're looking at the solo lanes in particular, TSM want to make sure none of that money is going to waste, as Broken Blade might be able to face check this in time to stop Impact's back. Yes, he will. Volibear versus Sett, man. Two of the biggest meatballs in League of Legends going head-to-head here with a 1v1, but Broxah's not going to leave that as a 1v1 for long. Remember, Broken Blade already flashed earlier. This is what you like to see from a jungler, Mr. Kobe. You know it and I know it too. Not only is he getting involved in the lanes, he's making the return visits while the flashes are still on cooldown.
Broxah wants to win both sides of the pond here, and he's making Trundle look like a turbo ganker. He's got 2 kills to his name. Red Smite Trundle fully operational. He's punishing these solo laners that do not have flash. He got the one down there onto Bjergsen, immediately goes top, gets that one as well. And this time around, he's not letting the objective slip through Team Liquid's fingers. They will be able to get the Rift Herald for a 3rd game in a row, even though TSM got the first Dragon, and they do have the possibility down there. Team Liquid, with this early gold lead, plus the gold in hand of using that Rift Herald, I think are really well set up to play off some global pressure now with Jensen's Twisted Fate. They should be looking for a proactive area to use Jensen in the side lane, try and teleport through to get an extra kill and make use of the extra map pressure.
Yeah, this is the first game in the series that TSM hasn't started the Rift Herald and then TL stole it. They got the first one in all 3 games, but the previous 2, they had to stop TSM from taking it in order.
You burn your hand on the stove once, then you test it one more time just to make sure.
Just to make sure it's hot.
Like, okay,
you burn the other hand, and now you're out of hands.
Exactly,
so,
no more hands.
Once you run out of hands, you got to leave the stove alone. Team Liquid are able to keep that one secured for themselves. I don't think that message on the screen was correct because Biofrost is still running around, but
Treatz is in. Oh my god.
Oh no. No bamboozle, no bamboozle. It's still
no
Biofrost.
Bamboozle, okay,
promise.
no bamboozle, yeah.
Broxah passes off the blue buff over to Jensen. The Twisted Fate ulti is ready to go, and just like that, he's making his appearance here in the bottom lane. Biofrost is killed off. Jensen comes down to bottom lane just for a spectator ticket. He doesn't even get an assist.
Okay, well, Biofrost has also entered the fountain. I think the title might have been a little off there. That was the announcement was supposed to be, as TL put him there. And just as we call for it, the Twisted Fate play comes through for Team Liquid right on time.
So close. That death sentence headed for DoubleLift, but he gets himself out of the way with the 90 caliber net just in time to prevent more coming through there from TL. Maybe a possible dive since Broxah was hanging around down there too. Still more 1v1 between Broken Blade and Impact here in the top lane. Broken Blade trying to make sure he catches up to him for a little bit of extra damage. Spica's also on bottom side now as Broxah has got himself towards the other end of the map, and that means that Team Liquid must be respectful, not overextend into the Olaf that has all summoners and ultimate ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid are working off your cooldowns. You basically, you increase and decrease your aggressive playmaking based around Jensen's cooldowns here. He's got blue buff Twisted Fate, just waiting for the extra few seconds here on the Twisted Fate ultimate to come back up. It's about halfway done now after the first one. It's within this window of time where TSM are trying to mine as much pressure, as much gold as possible. Bottom lane goes right back to pushing. DoubleLift and Biofrost working away at those turret plates, even as Jensen is able to complete his 11.5-minute Rod of Ages. Honestly, pretty early for him, considering he didn't get any kills. You can definitely get it earlier if you get those kills, but TSM looking to make the offensive play before his ult is back up.
TSM looking to tactical and CoreJJ here yet again. This turret is so low on HP now. CoreJJ goes for the death sentence, but that doesn't hit. Team Liquid, even if they keep themselves alive and draw some of this pressure from TSM, they're still losing a lot of turret plates down here, so TSM is getting some advantages there. Shelly summoned up in mid lane. That's 2 plates going over to Team Liquid. All that money will be on Broxah since he was the one summoning the Herald up. 2,500 gold lead still for TL here as we cross the 12-minute mark in this game. You mentioned Rod of Ages. Since that was completed at 11.5 minutes, that means it will be fully stacked by Jensen 21.5 minutes into this game. The item is 97% gold efficient.
Solid
0 stacks, 156% gold efficient at maximum stacks. So you get a lot more power. You get about 2/3 more power in those 10 minutes as it stacks up. So we'll see Jensen reap those rewards here 10 minutes from now. But he's still got some more plays to make between now and then with all those summoners available. And that ulti you mentioned, the seconds have passed, my friend. It's ready to go.
Yep, 1 stack per minute. And honestly, we're seeing in this game, Flowers, why so many analysts were freaking out about the teams who were banning Caitlyn on blue side and not successfully picking it up, showing that they didn't have a successful team strategy for utilizing it. It's from this pressure when you compare it with, or when you pair it with a Lux or a Morgana or something like that. Spica, though, going to get chased off this dragon right into the death sentence.
Nice hook, but considering he's got Biofrost and DoubleLift right next to him, Spica is not intimidated by that crowd control, doesn't feel the pressure to have to use the Ragnarok to get away from it. So TSM will maintain their position here, continue working on this Drake. Broxah is nearby, may go for the turn. Drake is down to 1,000 HP. Jensen wants to work his way down here as well, but Tactical being jumped on. Bjergsen gets the initiation onto him, but a nice death sentence, or a dark passage, excuse me, the one that saves him there. As Spica pops the Ragnarok now, the Olaf is not in good shape, my friends. 400 HP, no ulti ready, means it is very hard for him to get into this fight. If he goes in, he is not getting back out alive. No way into the pit, barring a flash. Tactical will continue firing off the volleys, trying to keep TSM away. There is a ward from TSM in the pit there. Keeping an eye on the Drake. There's your arrow fired off. Tactical in some trouble. Dragon going to be secured now by TL, but where is the fight going to go? CoreJJ having to kite himself away. Biofrost nearly going to be killed off. 2 from TSM. Barely left alive. They so close to getting themselves killed, but they walk out of it. TSM will take the kill, but it's Team Liquid taking the objective.
Very big for Team Liquid to get the dragon kill before this took place. I will say, pretty well executed with the low health bar of Spica there from TSM. You saw it was Bjergsen Ashe arrow from the stolen Ashe arrow right into a flash snare from Biofrost. And Biofrost able to navigate his way out while DoubleLift even goes over the wall and forces Jensen back as well. So pretty well played considering the circumstances that led up to it. That being said, Team Liquid get the dragon and they get the top side pressure, taking a full turret for impact with his Blade of the Ruined King completed on Sett. He's just stomping through that lane.
Okay, here's our replay. Let's look at how this fight played out with Team Liquid sticking to the Drake.
So that's the stolen Ashe arrow into flash snare from Biofrost I'm talking about. And when he gets hooked in, it's already a 100% to 0 kill on the Ashe. And DoubleLift then nets over the back of this wall. And with another spell here from Biofrost throwing the snare over the wall to try and get slow on Jensen, he forces another summoner spell. So that's why, even considering the circumstances of Team Liquid getting the objectives, and Team Liquid surely in a power position, the mechanics there of that actual fight and assassinating Tactical were pretty well played. But again, Team Liquid, they hold everything right now. They've got a huge advantage in the side lane with your Sett over Volibear here. Completed Blade of the Ruined King means Impact can get full priority. Plus, they're the ones with the Twisted Fate looking to capitalize on another TSM start of Rift Herald.
TSM are not afraid of the fact that TL are ahead in gold right now. They're the ones going after this objective. They're the ones daring Team Liquid to challenge them. The Rift Herald is secured by Spica. He will pick the eyeball up and run away, give him the thumbs up on the way out, and TSM will complete a successful Rift Herald take here with Team Liquid nearby.
I'm honestly perplexed that was allowed. They they roamed Impact up. Yeah. He walked up, so you saw Volibear down there alone. Broken Blade was able to fully push in bottom side, and TSM successfully kill and extract the Rift Herald eyeball while Team Liquid have this ginormous lead.
Well done by TSM. They took it. Team Liquid weren't able to get in there and stop them. Maybe the coordination, the communication was off. Can't be quite sure. But either way, they chose to not kick off a fight there. They did not want to risk anything challenging TSM in that environment. Tier 1 turret nearly dead here. Team Liquid, if they can get a push together, will be able to knock that one down rather swiftly. Still another 2.5 minutes before Baron is on the table. Under 2 minutes now before the third Drake of the game does show up. This will be Ocean Soul again, just like in game number 1. But different from game number 1, TSM does not have full Drake control up until this point. TSM will not be able to threaten 4 Drakes equals Soul at 20-something minutes like they did in that first game. Team Liquid doing a better job at contesting the neutral game here than they did that first time around. Arrow coming through, will not find the shot onto Tactical. Respect the shot from Bjergsen coming out there, but doesn't do a whole lot. Will not find impact either as he gets himself away after putting a couple of punches onto the tier 1 turret.
And because Broken Blade got his alone time on bottom side, he still has his teleport advantage over Impact, and he's been able to get back a little bit into this matchup, whereas Impact's been bullying him so hard for so long. Now at least, Broken Blade has gotten to the Trinity Force here for a Volibear, so you've got a lot more sustained damage, and the Sett now has to respect a lot more the time that Volibear can buy. Trinity Force is so good with him because cooldown reduction allows you to get multiple rotations of your W spamming, getting you the extra life back off champions, plus your E shields coming in can be super surprising towards the later stages. And TSM do have good scaling with Sylas and Caitlyn. That Team Liquid do still have to remain cognizant of. Here comes the Rift Herald play in mid though, and Jensen should be looking with his Twisted Fate ultimate. This could be the play. Impact teleport will come off cooldown shortly.
Turret's going to die instantly though. One more auto attack from anyone will do it. There you go. Shelly shouldn't be able to get second charge off here. I think TL has enough bodies nearby to prevent that charge. There you go. Drake is alive. Now you've got Impact on a flank position here. Broken Blade is watching, trying to make sure Impact isn't coming around through any of these extra brushes spawned by the ocean map. Team Liquid moving forward. Stun down onto Biofrost, but he is kept safe there. Impact trying to fight in a 1v2 against Bjergsen and Broken Blade off to the side. Will be able to get himself away. Team Liquid, 4 men pushed up into the Drake pit now, looking to secure this one for themselves. Broxah is still going to be near the Drake. Over the wall goes Bjergsen, has the Sett ultimate stolen. Spica also now into the pit. He's going to take down the Drake, and TSM will outmaneuver Team Liquid and take down the objective. CoreJJ goes for the death sentence, and now the fight is starting off. Wild cards go through. Impacts into the middle. He brings one back. The damage happens if Bjergsen's gone. Now TSM got to be careful they don't end up losing anymore. Spica's going to drop. CoreJJ with a flash away. DoubleLift, man, what you got to say? See you later. Impact grabs the kill. TL take 3.
Team Liquid, they're going to take more than that too. They're going to take the Baron after that team fight. Oh my goodness, CoreJJ lives another day. He does not go down, flashing away from the last auto.
Hey, you got rhymes too. You got rhymes too. Hell yeah. Oh my goodness. Team Liquid pops off on the back end of the fight that looked like it was going well for TSM at the beginning with the objective secure. But now, a 20-minute Baron for the side of Team Liquid is a game changer here in this third game.
Oh my goodness, so many plays. CoreJJ living there, Impact living after getting the dunk back with the showstopper on Sett and surviving with his shields. Then Jensen had the re-engage. Let's go through it from the top here. TSM, originally really good steal by them. Bjergsen and Spica both go over, they combo, they steal the dragon, Broxah flashes out, but they step too far forward. Going for the Scuttle Crab here. Bjergsen gets hooked in by CoreJJ into the stun ignite, which means Impact goes for the showstopper back. Look at his health. He barely has anything left, yet he still survives off the extra Triumph heal plus, Caitlyn heal was not used. Then we have the re-engage there from Jensen flashing in for the stun onto DoubleLift, who was trying to finish off CoreJJ and gets punished. Just what a big escape from the 3 members of Team Liquid, and then re-engage for themselves. Jensen's Twisted Fate once again is huge for them.
Holy
winning them
cow.
game number 2 and massive in game number 3.
Especially after his poor performance in game number 1, where I think Bjergsen just outclassed him in literally any metric you could think of. The past 2 games, Jensen is showing up here for TL, making things happen on the Twisted Fate. Lich Bane, Rod of Ages fully stacked now as of 45 seconds ago, has the stopwatch ready to go for aggro drop and playmaking, and Team Liquid has another 90 seconds of Baron buff to still push and look for these tier 2 turrets. All 3 tier 2s still standing. These are relatively easy to take. When you have Baron buff and a 5,000 gold lead, there's no Ornn in the game this time around, so no extra hidden gold advantage through the Ornn upgrades. But TL will get the tier 2 in the mid lane. Still a little over 1 minute left. We'll see him probably rotate down here towards bottom and look for this tier 2 now as well.
Twisted Fate might be finding his way into the bans in this series as we progress.
You're right, my friend.
Captain Flowers.
I think you're right. He was there in game 1.
He definitely was there. He has not upgraded to the Medjai Soul Stealer in this game. You know, just 3 stacks on the ring, measly there. No, not necessary quite yet, but with Baron buff, this is dream scenario. You get to push multiple lanes at once. Impact can just hover around, buffing up the cannon minion. And look at the damage that cannon minion alone is doing to the turret.
Yeah. Turret down to half HP there in mid lane. 25 seconds left on this Baron push. Team Liquid, will they be able to get much else done? Not with that arrow flying off like that, I do not believe. Bjergsen's going to soak a little bit of damage, but considering there's still a wall between him and everybody on TL, he's not in any danger of actually dying. A little bit more damage will be applied to the tier 3 turret thanks to that Baron up cannon minion. But Baron dissipates, and with it, so does this push. Team Liquid will take the few thousand golds worth of a lead they got. They're up to about 7,500 gold lead here, 24 minutes into this game. Very powerful advantage for this point in a game of League of Legends. So now they're going to walk away, spend that money, and get ready for the next move.
And Impact over Broken Blade again with this Sett Volibear matchup. I mean, he's more tanky and does more damage at this point. It's actually a huge benefit here for Team Liquid. 2-level lead for himself. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Smite, so he can't do everything. Can't get the Skull Crab for himself. TSM are able to secure that as Spica finishes it off, though, for themselves. TSM really need to rally, though. There's so much vision deep in their red quadrant. It makes this side lane really dangerous. And Team Liquid can continue to make dragon setup plays because they have full control over the bottom half of the map. TSM have made that call, though. They are not strong enough to fight it, so they're going to try and trade. They're conceding dragon. They know that they've been vested here for the mid stage of the game, and they're just trying to get gold back where they can. I do like that option.
Yep, we're still 10 minutes away from a soul for either side here. So the earliest you will see a potential Ocean Soul this game is 35 minutes if they're both killed on spawn by the same team. That's not going to be a win condition anytime soon for either one of these squads. You can see the gold on your screen right now. Highest gold value for the side of TSM, a little bit over 10,000 there for DoubleLift. But across the board, the same amount of money is on Impact, and Jensen having about 500 more than that means these Team Liquid players are in a really good spot looking at these upcoming fights. Baron will spawn in a little bit over 1 minute. A TP's coming in. Impact could be in a bad spot here. All of TSM moving in, trying to chase after him. Impact goes over the wall. He uses the ulti to position and the flash to stay safe. Spica gets hit by the gold card. Death Sentence follows it up, and that forces Ragnarok. So TSM's jungler now does not have his get out of jail free card. Tier 2 turret in the top lane of Team Liquid is under pressure. Lots of damage being poured into that one. TSM knows they have to take it down if a fight's going to break out here. They cannot fight underneath the turret. Broken Blade eats a gold card. Death Sentence comes through. Broken Blade with the jump away to safety, and Impact now going to be in some trouble. Goes for the haymaker, playmaker. Yes, he's going to stay alive. Wild card's thrown through. Spica tries to get himself away. Down to about 10% HP, but he's got the shields from Biofrost to stay alive. More cards coming out, and Spica goes to the Shadow Realm as Bjergsen is the next target. Going golden only for a moment. Bjergsen will stay alive, and now he falls. Biofrost tries to run, but it's Lux versus the world, and the world's gonna win. You don't have enough skins to get out of that one as Team Liquid gets themselves 3 kills for nothing.
And good golly, Flowers, look at the time. 5 more seconds left on Baron number 2.
Baron o'clock, and Team Liquid is right on time for their big old purple appointment.
Couldn't have scripted it better for Team Liquid. They got the first Baron barely over 20 minutes. They're going to get this one right on time as well. My goodness, that's going to have to be a huge push into the TSM base. Inhibitor turrets will be going down after this. There's just such a massive lead right now. Really well played in that team fight, by the way. It was both top laners tanking for their teams. Broken Blade had to use his own ult on Volibear to jump away Meanwhile, Impact got lanterned out, so the dark passage from CoreJJ saves him. Here's another look. Broken Blade, he goes out, he has to walk back with 50% health, and Impact, he gets the shield into the dark passage, and he gets lanterned out to safety. So TL can move up then with their advantages in the health bars, and Jensen with the extra range here on Twisted Fate, continually able to threaten these gold card picks. They chase down TSM member after TSM member, and the Heartbreaker for Bifrost, not able to finish it off on the tactical.
So close on that kill on the enemy AD carry, but it is not meant to be. Team Liquid wearing purple yet again. 8,000 gold lead. Inhibitor turrets are the name of the game, and they're keeping the push strong in all 3 lanes. Bottom laners plus jungler hanging out in mid with the 2 solo laners in those side lanes. Impact doing what you described last time, sort of just keeping the cannon minion enchanted. Sett can't really walk up to the turret and do much to it himself without putting himself at way too much risk. So he just wants to make sure.
You're doing great work.
It's cheerleader Sett. He's making sure he's facilitating the minions being obnoxious to kill and getting good damage down onto the turrets with the cannons. Now that mid lane cannon minion only needs a few more auto attacks to actually take down this inhibitor turret in mid lane. Team Liquid are at a point where they're able to hard force if they feel compelled to do so, as Spica and Broken Blade are both called down to the bottom lane to try to hold off this push from Impact. Broxah and CoreJJ also rotating down now. Broken Blade in some trouble here, gets away far enough to not be hit by the death sentence, which means the ulti will be saved. He's not in any true danger just yet, but the mid lane turret has fallen. Tactical putting the auto attacks into the mid lane inhib as TL looks to continue to trap TSM in this base for the rest of the game. Baron has a little bit under 1 minute left to go. Already a Red Bull Baron buff of 2,500 gold's worth. Very good value here for Team Liquid. Top lane tier 3 turret gets taken down by the blue card from Jensen. Impact continuing to maintain the pressure in the bottom lane. Top lane inhibitor will now likely be your next target as the mid lane inhib has fallen. CoreJJ, Broxah, and Tactical must be careful to not walk through the inner part of the TSM base. It would give TSM that opportunity to engage here. Impact will just keep punching. The minion will just keep shooting. And with 15 seconds left to go, Team Liquid will call it a day and head back to base.
Yeah, I think the only way TSM win this now is they make a bunch of back-to-back plays to go mega late game. Because you mentioned there's not going to be an early soul in this game. Right. Even though Team Liquid are picking up their 3rd right now to put them on soul point, you still get some breathing room for TSM because of the first 2 that you got. And you need to dump as much extra money into the Caitlyn as possible. Plus, you're still getting more scaling on your Sylas. For Bjergsen, he's almost level 16 to be able to get rank 2 ultimate, but arrow goes through.
Well, Jensen doesn't find the gold card onto DoubleLift, thanks to DoubleLift using the flash to get himself away there. But Caitlyn now not having that very important summoner spell could be a big decider of this next fight. Team Liquid knows they can go towards the top lane if they want an open inhib, or they can try to finish off the remaining inhibitor turret here bottom side. It looks like once again Impact is taking his position, my friend, and shoving up the bottom lane wave.
Yeah, Team Liquid, they have so many options right now. It feels really good to be in this position with the Twisted Fate on your team because Jensen can just go grab top wave by himself, and the rest of your team is very safe because you're the team with the double front line. You have Trundle. Trundle makes sure that anybody who steps up on TSM, any attempt at front-to-back team fighting means your front has to immediately go into evasive maneuvers and dodge damage because Trundle ultimate will pierce right through any of the defenses that you've built up and make it a lot easier and equalize here for Team Liquid in trying to push that way. So TSM have to make big use of a Sylas stolen ultimate spell or a big, well-played team fight from DoubleLift to pull off some crazy stuff.
Yep, I'm looking at Bjergsen to try to steal Tactical's ult whenever he can for an extra initiation tool on the side of TSM because they are seriously and sorely lacking those right now. Broken Blade is too far behind the curve of the game, honestly, to really be a massive initiator on his own. He'll jump in and then be in a real tough spot unless one of those enemy carries just gets insta-gibbed, and I don't see that happening. Not with Jensen having that stopwatch ready to go. Not with Tactical being in a spot where he's able to kite away so effectively with CoreJJ right next to him. CoreJJ 3-0-4 in this game. Honestly, jungler and mid lane are also 2-0-5. 3 different, and Sett 1-0-5. Only person that's even died on the side of Team Liquid has been tactical this entire game. Everybody else making sure they're staying away from that spawn platform. As TL pushes forward, a little bit more damage will be enough to take down the inhib, but they got to be careful about how they do it. Nearly killing off Spica as he tries to run away with the Ragnarok. Almost completely dead. Jensen goes for the gold card on him. Wild cards won't be able to finish it. But with the enemy jungler that low, there's no way TSM are able to defend this top lane inhib against the Team Liquid push. Baron is up in 5 seconds.
And they get what they came for. Team Liquid destroy the base. 2 inhibitors down with Baron number 3 arriving. This must be the least amount of time that a Baron has been able to stay on Summoner's Rift in a plus 30-minute game here, because Team Liquid are in position once again to either bait or even take Baron number 3. And they're going to bait. Deep teleport here means they're going for a flank.
Impact TPing in, looking for the opportunity to go behind the TSM lines. He's found Biofrost, looking for DoubleLift, and there he is. Ulti comes through while the rest of TL is able to deal with the problem of Spica. He's out of the picture. Impact with the aggro drop there, utilizing the power of the Hourglass. Impact gets himself away. The regeneration, my God, man. Jensen goes on a rampage, and TSM is running to the hills. Team Liquid continues the chase. Jensen is after Bjergsen with a vengeance, and it's a double kill for the TL mid laner with 4 dead on the enemy team. Surely this is your TL game-winning push as they wave goodbye with the sad Zoes. They got the I can't believe it with the Cosmic Ashe. They are pushing for the win, and they are pushing to take us to match point.
Team Liquid with the parade right down mid lane to celebrate their victory in game number 2. Can they collect some more KDA? Won't be necessary here as the Nexus is down. And once again, the twisted fate for Team Liquid has just cleaned up all of the issues with their early stages of the game. Another big win for them. Now it is series point.
I feel like TSM's got to go back to what they did in game 1 and just take that twisted fate away. The champion has been doing so much for the side of TL, enabling Jensen to enable the rest of the team, and TL looking good now after games 2 and 3, bouncing back against the TSM win in that first game, and importantly also showing us the first red side win of the day. So now that TL is showcased, yeah, they can do it on either side. How does TSM adapt in game number 4?
I mean, yeah, Team Liquid, they showed so many things in this game. The Broxah's Trundle getting off all these ganks, just chain ganking these solo laners, burning summoner spells, getting kills on the solo laners as well. And that setup, Impact in the top side, he takes that pressure and runs with it in the matchup. So really well controlled. Then if you have the extra global to slam down on top of it, Team Liquid definitely looking scary. And TSM, they have to switch something up if the fans want to hear some silver scrapes.
Well, Team Liquid have taken us to match point with a win here in game number 3. We're heading to a break once more, but once we get back, the State Farm analyst